Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from Joe. Thank you so much for that. For those interested, request any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, random rants, a topic, whatever case. PayPal is usually the best bet, as long as you have the family and friends option you click on. Or Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. It could be for pretty much anything. I'll get to as soon as I can. And Joe wanted me to do a commentary on the 1995 film Jury Duty, which I do like Pauly Shore's early work. I thought this was the worst one he did of that era. I'd probably rather watch Biodome than this. And that's not the greatest. But thank you, Joe. And, well, let's start it off. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. At least it's a short film. I'll give it that. Because there's some people that may not know who the hell Pauly Shore is. See, Pauly Shore, he was born to parents who owned the store, the Comedy Store, where a lot of stand-ups got their start in the stand-up community, stand-up, really the stand-up world. A lot of people went through there. His mom owned it for many, many, many years. So as a kid, he would meet people like Sam Kinison and Richard Pryor and all these guys. He grew up in the show business environment. And of course, thus he wanted to become a star on his own. So early on, he would work with MTV. He was an MTV VJ. He had his own show called Totally Pauly, where he would go to spring break and all these parties. And I guess the success of that led to him being in the movie business. He did movies before. He was in this film, Phantom the Mall, Eric's Revenge, which actually did get released. I like the film for what it is. And Pauly Shore is, I thought, kind of fun in that movie. Although he's a bit more subtle in that compared to what he would do later on. But the first hit he was in was Encino Man in 1992. Which that still doesn't have a Blu-ray to this day, Encino Man. I know when it went to DVD, there was some footage cut out. Because I remember watching it on VHS quite a few times, and then you watch the DVD, there's a couple scenes that are trimmed for no discernible reason. But anyway, that was a fun one. Brendan Fraser starred in it. You had Sean Astin, who would later be in Lord of the Rings. By that point, he was in films like The Goonies and Toy Soldiers. Entertaining film, was a surprise hit that led to Pauly Shore getting his own movie, Son-in-Law, which that's a fun film, Son-in-Law. That was another nice surprise hit, made almost $40 million, which was surprising to quite a few people. So again, that film garnered this thought process of, oh, this guy is a star, he's a comedy star, we'll see where this leads to. Maybe this is a new comedic star on the rise. Son-in-Law is still a fun film. Again, a film that's not on Blu-ray. I don't think I've seen no Pauly Shore films on Blu-ray that I could think, at least his early days. So that led to In the Army Now. And that's when things sadly started to turn. I think In the Army Now made a little bit of money, not nearly as much though as Son-in-Law. In fact, I liked In the Army Now. It's actually my favorite Pauly Shore film. I wish that film was on Blu-ray. I do quite like that one. But that's one where it made, well, a little over half of what Son-in-Law had made at the box office. So people are sitting there going, is this guy really a rising star? So after that, he did Jury Duty, and that's where things really took a turn off the cliff. Because In the Army Now maybe did okay, not nearly as good as Son-in-Law. This became a fucking disaster. And as you're watching now, you can kind of see why. I mean, just the whole joke is that he's a male stripper. How could this guy be a male stripper? I was surprised women were cheering him in the first place. Now they're leaving. So the first time we see Pauly Shore is him dumping milk on himself. Yeah, people aren't having it. I know In the Army Now he wasn't really gung-ho to do it. I think there was another movie he was talking of doing, but they kind of pushed him into doing that. And I know that, he cut his hair. He had to do it for that role. Because in the Army, so he had to be shaved. Obviously, this is his haircut from In the Army Now. Because this had come out just a year later, so it probably hasn't grown out that much. Isn't she a dude? And that's the joke? Yeah. Number one, this film is not that fun. Andrew Dice Clay. Wait a minute, gotta wait for Andrew Dice Clay, man. I forgot he was in this. The Dice Man. Big fan of the Dice Man. Obviously, Andrew Dice Clay had done stuff on the Comedy Store. Knew Pauly since then for the longest time. That's probably how he got this role. Plus Dice, I mean, he had his shot at stardom, and Sally, even though I love Adventures of Ford Fairlane, I think it's criminally underrated. His films were not doing that well. I want to see more of this. I want to see more of Andrew Dice Clay being Pauly Shore's uncle. Sadly, I don't think we see Dice anymore. That's a fucking shame. Why would that be the movie? Dice Clay being the uncle of Pauly Shore. R-rated. Dice Clay giving Pauly Shore shit all the time. That'd be a lot of fun to... That would have been a lot of fun to see. Sadly, that's not the case here. But the thing at this time, Pauly Shore, he was getting on people's nerves. I think certain people, they were tears about him, and some people liked him, some people didn't. I think Son-in-Law was the true test for people. There's a certain amount of people like me who did like him. And there's a chunk of people that were like, what the fuck is this guy? Like, this is who he is by himself and without Brendan Fraser, without Sean Astin, trying to hold a movie on his own. I'm not going to watch any more of his movies. And then the movies afterward, they dwindled in box office. And then when the movies are even lesser quality, like this movie, they're like, fuck, I'm not seeing this. So his star didn't shine that much. A lot of people got annoyed with his personality. They got annoyed by his way of expressing dialogue. Hey, I'm the Weasel. How's it going, buddy? How you doing? Maybe he's not doing as much as the Weasel in this compared to other movies, but people just... didn't deem as funny, and they just turned on him with a fierce nature and a fierce, furious anger. They didn't just dislike him, they hated him. They despised Pauly Shore. The worst new star of the decade, was it the Razzies or someone else called him? He became like the most hated comedian. He's not funny, he's irritating, he's annoying, what a lack of talent he has. This definitely has some recognizable people in the cast. We saw Andrew Dice Clay earlier on as his uncle. We have Shelley Winters as his mom. Of course, Shelley Winters done a lot of stuff. The Poseidon Adventure, among many other movies throughout the years. She was in the Delta Force, the first one. But yeah, you see throughout the film, you got Tia Carrere, who was in Wayne's World, among many other movies. There's Charles Napier here, who was Murdoch, Ramble for Split Part 2. Always great to see Charles Napier in there. Like I say, he was in Ramble for Split Part 2. He was in this film from the 80s called Deep Space. May he rest in peace. He had a bit role in The Cable Guy as the police officer who had the hookup with Jim Carrey's The Cable Guy. But see, when people, again, when you watch this film, you see his demeanor, even I, who liked his previous stuff, even I'm sitting there going, this guy's getting on my nerves. I think it's one of those things that his shtick was always going to have a short lifespan. That, and then the material not being up to par. You could say the more successful version of Pauly Shore was Adam Sandler. Just look at even like the face and the haircut he has right now. There's a little bit of reference to Adam Sandler. Early Adam Sandler when he would do these kind of sound effects and verbiage. I keep overusing that word verbiage. You know, just the way he spoke. Seems like we kind of... You know, these weird voices. But Sandler kind of got out of it, and he had his early career better material. And even his early roles, like you look at Billy Madison, and he'd do these goofy voices and mannerisms. It's just Adam Sandler annoyed people a lot less than Pauly Shore did. And better material, better scripts, probably better filmmakers around them. Like the guy who directed this did what? A Night of the Roxbury and Fred 2? It's not really the most accomplished director. And there's Rick Dukeman, who was one of the... Is that Stanley Tucci? Such a crazy cast this has. Yeah, Rick Dukeman there, who's bandaging his head. He was in The Burbs. Great movie. He was also a security guard in Gremlins 2, the new batch. Sally, he's passed away, but he was wonderful in The Burbs. So now this is Sam trying to get the right jury. Wants one that's longer, the longer the better. Like I said, Pauly Shore's shtick, it just... I didn't either just felt really old by this point, and so just more aggravating, or just more... It felt more of just Pauly mugging into the camera. A lot of mugging. So you got Stanley Tucci in the bat there. You got Tia Carrere bat there. Oh, Richard T. Jones, who was in Event Horizon, bat there. We got, oh, that guy in the bat there. The guy in the front, he was spiked in the live-action Super Mario Bros. Movie in '93. He was also one of the guys in the garage that stole the car on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And then the guy behind him, the bigger guy, he was one of the first people killed in Hatchet. That guy, yeah, behind Pauly Shore's right shoulder, who's looking down, he's one of the first people that Victor Crowley kills in Hatchet. Well, not one of the first, but of the big group, the tour, the kind of gets Hatchet right here, hatcheted. Also, he was in The Fugitive. He's one of the guards on the bus. He's one of the guards on the bus as the bus gets fucked up by the train. He tries to shoot Harrison Ford with a shotgun. Been a lot of stuff. He was one of the characters of Office Space. He was in that. As I said, a lot of recognizable people, at least for me. That's what time I would, like, we pass it, the jokes. They chose the jury. Oh, they got tuna salad. They got tuna salad. Like, that's the jokes we have. Someone's going to be excited that they have tuna salad in a courthouse. Like, really? Now that bus driver, I recognize him too. I'm trying to remember where it's from. Was he the guy in Lethal Weapon 2 who was fixing Danny Glover's place and had introduced the nail gun? I can't remember. Maybe it was. Like I said, a lot of these people just... I know I remember. I remember him from this movie. I remember her from this movie. And of course, there's a reference to Speed, which has come out then just recently at that time. That's for me. It just he's not funny in this movie. He's just more irritating. Just that Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. No, no, I hit the windshield. Yeah. I think in the Army now, it helped that he was working with Andy Dick, and I think they had a good chemistry with each other. Being in the military, it's just seemed a bit more of a exciting plot with all the military training, things of that nature. And then, what was it? Getting David Alan Greer, Lori Petty, a little bit of action in there. Just don't know if the premise of jury duty is really that much for comedy. I'm looking at the cast here. I did, yeah, Tia Carrere, who's in Wayne's World 2, True Lies. True Lies, yeah. Yeah, Stanley Tucci, Preezy's Honor, Deconstructing Harry, Road to Perdition, The Terminal, Captain America the First Avenger. Brian Doyle Murray, he was the guy that was on the TV commercial, and he's one of them. He's the older brother of Bill Murray. He was also in Scrooge, Ghostbusters 2, Groundhog Day, other Bill Murray films. He was in Club Paradise. He's a guy in Wayne's World where he owned the arcade and they're making fun of him. At least Wayne is making fun of him. Noah's Arcade. This guy here, yeah, that's Richard Reel. Let's see, he was the guard on the bus in The Fugitive. Lethal Weapon 4, Coast Guard officer. They said Hatchet he was in. Office Space. See other people. Let's say Richard Edson, he's in the film. Like I say, he was Spike in the '93 Super Mario Bros. Movie. I forgot he was in Howard the Duck. Richard T. Jones, I mentioned him. He was in Event Horizon. Let's see. So the joke here is that this guy has listed some self-help stuff, and Paula Shore is like trying to be funny. See, no, if there's a holiday, if there's the time, no. It just, his shtick did not work in this film. I think, I don't know, it's just either the people he was around or the situation. I think son-in-law worked because this is maybe just better scripts. Maybe it's just better scripts. Maybe the director or someone else or the cast around them. This one, maybe he had a bit more control, just to do whatever he wants, or just mudding more. I don't know. Just something about this. It just seems more irritating in this fucking movie compared to the others. I wonder, like, the people watches going, like, who are in the film, if they're watching Pauly Shore, they go, "What the fuck is this guy doing? This guy thinks this is funny? Oh, brother, and he got to be a star of it? I never got to be a star of a movie." So now he's having a fantasy. He's fantasizing his principal on a surfboard. And then Brondell Murray there with two women from his commercial. I don't know, like, what's supposed to be funny about this. Tia Carrera, very sexy lady, I'll say it. Tia Carrera is beautiful. Showdown Little Tokyo, very nice. You see quite a bit in Showdown Little Tokyo. Very, very nice. Yeah. One of the main reasons to see Showdown Little Tokyo. Okay, she got a lot of Hawaiian Tropic lotion, sunscreen, whatever the fuck it was supposed to be. So he knocked himself out, then he got back up and was like, "All rise!" God, this is just so fucking tough to sit through. Holy shit, balls of fire, man. God damn. This movie, man. And no universe would Tia Carrera fall for Pauly Shore. Lori Petty I could see. But Tia Carrera, I don't know. Again, just these kind of jury shenanigans. If you want to see a funnier movie in a courtroom, My Cousin Vinny, just a few years before, like the way Joe Pesci plays that character, these two Utes. Did you say Ute? Yeah, these two Utes. Or I'm just coming up and going, everything that guy just said was bullshit. Thank you. He just fucking walks back down. I'm laughing at a memory of another movie more so than this fucking movie. Everything that guy just said was bullshit. That still cracks me up just thinking about it, let alone why he couldn't give her the note after instead of in the middle. And no one noticed that the fucking note hit this guy. Now, this guy who's the killer on trial, he was Roach from The People Under the Stairs. No ton. He does tongue cut off. People are in the Stairs, great movie, which now they want to remake, of course. Fuck are these lawyers? Oh yeah, I do chuckle at that. That he just walks up into frame. So I will say I got a little bit of a chuckle. It's just the reveal of him kind of just coming out. Yeah, that was a little bit funny. Oh, this guy from God, why can't I not remember his name? He'd be a lot of announcers of basketball. It's great, baby. Yeah, it's great. I don't know why can't I remember his name. Damn it. So the joke is that he talked so fast his head exploded. You know, like what universe is this movie in? People's heads just explode into sawdust, willy nilly. Just turn the TV on. Just turn the TV on. If he wants to have the thing on, say you need the TV on to do it. So he's doing this because he doesn't have enough money to live. I don't even know how long the vacation is. Really, wouldn't he, I guess just for. Because he has a place to sleep. I guess just for food? And that's the only reason he's doing this? For food? Because, I mean, if he's living there, it's not that he doesn't have a place to live. It's just he's going to be alone the whole time. So you think with this type of guy and his personality, he want to be home alone for a week or two or however long? So, damn. If he didn't have a place to live, that'd be a different matter. So I keep looking at this because the movie's not giving me jack shit of anything else to talk about. Oh, they're taking the mobile home with them. Okay, to stay with the Woodalls, he considers them awful people to say look for other living arrangements for him and his chihuahua, Peanut. Okay. I missed that part. I apologize. I missed that part. That's why. So they were taking the mobile home with them. Okay. Again. My mistake. It's not the movie's fault. It's my fault. Wasn't paying enough attention. Because I was too busy talking. What the fuck is he doing? So the joke there was that he's moving so fast that the blur on the TV can't follow him. Okay, like, I don't know what else to say about the fucking comedy in this. It just... What does this have on IMDb? I'm curious. I'm curious what other... What do the Pauly Shore movies have on IMDb? I'm curious. So let me look. It's funny because he kept saying penis over and over and over again because the word penis is funny. I wouldn't be laughing at that if I was 5 fucking years old. So Encino Man, 5.8. Son-in-Law, 5.9. In the Army Now, 4.9. Jury Duty, 4.3. See, In the Army Now, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's a 4.9 bad. I think there's a lot more going on with that than this movie. But this, in his early career, has the lowest rating. I'm not surprised. His TV show that lasted, what, 7 episodes? Yeah, these are the years when he was pretty much done. Jury Duty was a flop. Biodome didn't do anything. Pauly was so lambasted that it disappeared as soon as it started. He was some Casper movies as voice work. He was in an episode of VIP, the Pamela Anderson movie. He was in episodes of Nash Bridges. Goofy movie, extremely goofy movie. Pauly Shore's Dead. Which that film is awful. I think that's a film I tricked myself into trying to like when I first saw it. It has a lot of cameos from a lot of people. It's insane. The amount of people that he called in favors to be in the film. But it's not a good movie. And then really just like Opposite Day, Adopted. What was the last film I saw him in? What was the name of it? Guest House. That was pretty bad. So it says Stanley Tucci hated the movie and was so frustrated during filming that he started writing his own screenplay just to give himself a good part. That screenplay later became his acclaimed directorial debut film, Big Night. This was Pauly Shore's first starring film to not be released by Disney-branded Hollywood Pictures. Failed to recoup his budget, $21 million plus marketing costs, and brought in only $17 million in ticket sales, making it a box office bomb. Has a rare 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. This was Pauly Shore's worst reviewed movie. Jesus Christ. This is what I was talking about with Pauly Shore before. He once admitted that In the Army Now was the beginning of the end of his movie career. He enjoyed making it, does not regret doing it. He was offered the script when he was under a 3-film contract with Disney. He had made Encino Man and Son-in-Law, which had been modest box office hits. Well, after Encino Man, executives at New Line Cinema offered him a script for a film called Totally London. I just kind of liked he had a TV show called Totally Paulie. Paulie's show would have continued a variation on his popular Weasel character, but Disney CEO Jeffrey Katzenberg refused to let Shore out of his contract to go to New Line Cinema. So Disney bought Totally London from New Line and put it on the shelf, leaving Paulie Shore to do Son-in-Law. Well, I mean, Son-in-Law was a nice hit for him. After Son-in-Law, Totally London was renamed London Calling and retooled to star Duddy Dud, who was signed when he was cast in Cool Runnings. Katzenberg gave Pauly Shore the option to do this movie. In the Army now. Pauly Shore's agents advised against it because they thought the script was mediocre. They also felt audiences would not accept Pauly Shore without his usual Weasel style, so he would have to cut off all of his hair at the beginning for basic training scenes. Pauly Shore said he made the film because it was his only available choice at the time. He desperately wanted to be on a movie set. When this movie earned less at the box office than his previous films, Disney did not offer him another contract. His next two films were box office failures, though the latter, Biodome, eventually gained a big cult following. So yeah, in the Army now, because it didn't do as well as the others, Disney said goodbye, which led him doing these films, which were flops. And then he kind of went into, I don't know if I say obscurity, but he never found that success again. I'll say that. Never found that success again. So now Pauly Shore, he's adamant to stay there as long as possible and use the justice system, because now he's in such a great state of affairs in terms of his living arrangement. This seems to be what it was trying to lead up to, a comedy version of 12 Angry Men. Except it fails. Big time. Like I said, this seems to be what the purpose of the script was. How do we take 12 Angry Men, but we make it into a comedy? Except again, the problem is, this isn't funny. This is not a funny movie. Not in the slightest. I just see why Stanley Tucci was annoyed. I can absolutely see why. I would be annoyed too, being in this fucking film. Again, this is from a guy that liked Pauly's earlier films. Screenplay by Neil Tolkien, Barbara Williams, and Samantha Adams. Jesus Christ. So now we have him pretending to piss. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that. Oh, you don't do commentary. I don't know what commentary to do on a fucking poly short film like this. That's just hard to sit through. You know what? Here's what I'll do. What other films came out in 1995, which is when this film came out? This came out in 1995. You know, stretch that. What 1995 comedies came out? Let me see. Alright, let me see. We had Ace Ventura When Nature Calls with Jim Carrey. Entertaining sequel. You must be the Monopoly guys. Let's see. Because this list has all sorts of films, including films from overseas. Billy Madison was 1995. Again, funny movie, entertaining film. A lot more consistently solid in terms of getting the laughs out of you than this one. Friday, one of my favorites with Chris Tucker and Ice Cube. Great movie, Friday. How the hell you don't get fired on your day job on your day off? It's your ass, Mr. Postman. Rest in peace, Johnny Witherspoon. You had Get Shorty with John Travolta. You had, let's see, Heavyweights. Slam Dunk Ernest. Although I don't like that film, but I'd rather watch that than this. Look at the film. Brady Bunch movie was clever. Bushwhacked was there, but way better than this. Jumanji with Robin Williams. Some of the CGI don't hold up the best. Some of the practical effects are still pretty damn solid. And Jumanji's a lot of fun. One of my favorite Robin Williams movies. Stuart Says His Family. It's actually not that bad. Tommy Boy. Holy shit. So the same year we got Tommy Boy with Chris Farley and David Spade. We got Billy Madison with Adam Sandler. We got Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. Another thing about, let me see, when did Gerardo come out date-wise? April. Let me see some real quick. Tommy Boy came out March of 95. Billy Madison came out February 95. Friday came out April 95, so around the same time. Like same month. Ace Ventura Nature Calls came out November 95, but you know Jim had done Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and all that stuff. Mallrats, Major Payne. This might be the worst comedy of this year. I'm looking at these other movies, at least ones that I've seen. This might be the worst comedy of the fucking year. 95. And 95, I mean, look at the top 10 year of 95. This is worldwide. Box office. Die with a Vengeance, Toy Story, Apollo 13, GoldenEye, Pocahontas, Batman Forever, Seven, Casper, Waterworld, Jumanji. Pretty damn good year. Love Die with a Vengeance, Apollo 13, GoldenEye's classic, Seven, Jumanji. You know. I like Waterworld. I like Casper. Crimson Tide. Another 1995 film. Casino. Was Casino? Yeah, I think Casino was 95. Yeah. Man. In the Mouth of Madness. Hunted was pretty decent. I like The Mangler. I know. Outbreak, I love. We're in deep fucking shit. And we're already in deep fucking shit. I don't mind Tango. Bad Boys. So now that I look at the year 1995, it actually really does showcase a lot more about why this film bombed, why Pauly Shore kind of went outside into the garbage in terms of his career, in terms of his popularity. Because think of what I just said there, right? We had the emergence of Jim Carrey the year before in 1994. Just like Pauly Shore came on the scene for most people. I mean, he was on MTV, but a lot of people saw him in Encino Man, 1992. In a small amount of years, you had the emergence of Jim Carrey in 94 on this meteoric rise where he couldn't fail. Ace Ventura, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura Nature Calls this year. Batman Forever was a hit this year. Bigger hits. So you had the emergence of Jim Carrey. Then this year alone, you had the emergence of Adam Sandler into comedy movie-wise. Billy Madison. Chris Farley, Tommy Boy. Martin Lawrence, he had done stuff before, but here, dealing with Will Smith and comedy and action, Bad Boys. Chris Tucker in Friday. Again, they had done stuff before, but you think of Chris Tucker, you think of Friday. One of the things you think of Martin Lawrence is the first Bad Boys. So when you're comparing it to Chris Tucker and Martin Lawrence and Jim Carrey and Chris Farley and Adam Sandler, Pauly Shore does not really rank with those guys. Again, this is not from a guy who's a hater. I would gladly right now buy a copy of In the Army Now on Blu-ray or Son-in-Law on Blu-ray or Encino Man on Blu-ray if it was optioned. If it was available, I would buy them for my collection. But even I can say, as a comedian, as an actor, as a performer, he does not rank with those people I said. In my eyes, in my views. I think for a good chunk of people out there, they would feel the same way. Just, you know. The firmest. Well, I mean, at least that's better than The Firm, a Triple X parody like they would do nowadays. There goes 12 Angry Men. Cute looking dog. I don't know what. I'm not good with the names of breeds of dogs. Very cute looking dog. Teeny tiny. Interesting that he likes Jeopardy. But like I said, I would bet that was the initial. Well, not bet, but I would assume that was the initial thought process of making this film. What if you did a comedy version of 12 Angry Men? But what if 12 Angry Men had someone like Pauly Shore on it? Well, then go for that from the get-go. And you need... But here's 12 Angry Men has a good, tight script. So this is a remake. I mean, pretty much similar script, but those are tight scripts. Well done movies. Like both of them. Here, you got Pauly Shore dressing as drag. I don't know if people are supposed to believe he's a girl, because there are men that dress that way too, and there are men who cross-dress, and there are men who... There are trans hookers as well, so maybe that could be the case too. That's so weird to have prisoners like be able to fuck when they want to. Probably the first time he's ever showcased fear. Sorry, now I'm listening to the dialogue, so... Because I fucked up before, thinking, well, why is it... Oh, they're moving the mobile home. I fucked up there, so I'm trying to understand this a bit more. Like, did you need him saying, deep fry the ass, deep fry the ass? Pauly Shore definitely likes to show his ass. Is this scene leading anywhere? Like, was there a point to all this? What was the point of any of that? Did he get any information? Did he learn anything from that? So I'm trying to figure out what Pauly Shore's deal is now. So he pisses the guy off on purpose. Sorry, I'm listening to the dialogue. See, when Pauly is talking this way, and kind of, he has a little goofy stuff, but he's a little bit more, I don't want to say subtle, but a little bit more even-handed. I think it's a lot more tolerable, and I think he needed to showcase a little bit more range a lot sooner, if he had any. Adam Sandler, see, this bit here actually is probably the more interesting bit when he's actually being serious and he has a little bit of his Pauly persona, but being sincere and trying to prove this guy's innocence and showing the clues. This is probably the first time in over an hour where there's a little bit of and then he ruined it by just so it makes me wonder if Stanley Tucci, if he's not a big fan of Pauly Shore himself. That's what I mean. Like when he's given a little bit more calmer, he's a little bit more. I think it's a bit easier for audiences to deal with. And what was getting at? Sorry, the you look at Chris Tucker. He kind of had this thing where he was picking these projects. He is a bit funnier. He's funnier than Adam Sandler, but he could be in that realm of people find him annoying because of his screeching, his high pitched voice. Because you had Friday, which was a supporting role, just like Pauly Shore had a supporting role in Encino Man. Then he got to star in his own film in Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore, Money Talks with Chris Tucker. But then later, okay, Chris had some supporting work, Jackie Brown, The Fifth Element, where he chose good projects, where he's going to lend a little bit of his support. And he picked the right project for a starring role. Jackie Chan, that great chemistry with each other, hit the right tone, it was the right moment, it was the right time. Chris Tucker from 95 to boom, 98. Here comes Rush Hour. Boom, knocks out of the park. Yeah, it was the right project for him. And that chemistry, it's a bit of luck, a bit of timing, and having that right project. Adam Sandler. Happy Gilmore was not the same as Billy Madison. When you looked at his character, the way he played the character, the way Adam Sandler plays Happy Gilmore is different from the way he plays Billy Madison. It's less childish. It's childish in different ways, with much more anger. But you watch Happy Gilmore again, there's a lot of that movie where he's very much straightforward. It's not of him doing funny voices. It's him being generally pissed in entertaining situations. You son of a bitch ball, why you go home? Suck my white ass ball. That's a different role from Billy Madison. Then what happened? The Wedding Singer. You have that movie. Very different role, different type of movie, a little bit of variety in there. Jim Carrey, The Mask, was very different from Ace Ventura, and those are very different from Dumb and Dumber. Pauly Shore, I don't know if he had that range and ability as a comedian. And he definitely didn't have the right projects. Definitely did not pick the right projects. And he didn't pick the right projects. Jury Duty was not the project to pick. And it hurt him. It hurt his career. It hurt his opportunities. And this and Biodome back to back. I know In the Army Now could be the star of it. But this and Biodome were the career killers, in my opinion. They were the career killers. I would say this one in particular. I did. I'm looking through those comedies in 95. I'm like, this is probably the worst comedy I've seen of 1995. I said Mallrats, one of Kevin Smith's better movies. The highlights of Jim Carrey and Martin Lawrence and Chris Tucker and Chris Farley, Adam Sandler. That's a lot of, looking back, a lot of stuff to compete with. And this guy just didn't have that. So wait a minute, I guess his family is back home with the Mobiles because he's there now? So he could have come back any time then, if that's the case. I guess he really got into it, or he really got... he's a changed man, he got sincere in his what he wanted to accomplish. I don't know. Did they? Maybe I missed it. Was there ever a scene where, oh, I see you on TV. I'm so glad you're doing well. And Charles Napier and Shelley Winters, hey, we're home. You did come back. So he has a chance to come back and end this charade and just vote guilty. But he's like, no, wait a minute. I really do mean what I said. Maybe there's that moment for the character that would have shined even more so of him not being selfish. A bit more of his unselfishness being showcased by giving him much more of a choice of that matter. Maybe that would have helped the character. Would not have saved the film, but yeah, you don't steal Charles Napier's truck. That little dog just trying to catch up. So now we're into the last 15 minutes of the movie, thank God. Yeah, this was hard to sit through again. I mean, thank God it's a short movie, but my God, man, this is... It's hard to give commentary on this film wherein what commentary can you give? It's a Pauly Shore film that's not funny. It's hard to sit through. It has recognizable supporting cast. If you're in that era if you watch a lot of movies in that era. But other than that, what else is there to fucking talk about? I mean, if humor is subjective, you're sitting there going, well, this is my subjective. Oh, don't leave the dog, you fucking asshole. There's the dog. Damn, that poor dog. Having to run all that way. Rick Dukeman. Yep, and Stanley Tucci is the killer. There you go. There's your twist. My God, man. You're just sitting there going, okay, man. Let this be over soon. Be done like dinner. Holy shit, balls of fire, man. God damn. Movie's tough to sit through, man. Jesus H. Christ. But you, dude. You have a feeling this is the scene when Stanley Tucci decided, fuck this, I'm gonna write my own movie. I would like to think this is the scene. Acting across Pauly Shore, he's probably thinking to himself, this guy gets movies, this guy is starred in movies. I never got to star in a movie, and I'm with this guy. This is bullshit. I'm gonna change that around. Man, man. Oh, shut up, phone. Unless... God damn it, man. That'll shut him up. Yeah, if you hear that, sorry, that's my stomach. I haven't eaten yet. Pretty thankless role for Tia Carrere as well. I mean, pretty good actress. Beautiful. And this is a film she got after True Lies. Think about that. True Lies was 94. And the best she was offered was Jury Duty with Pauly Shore. But yeah, probably people thought, well, you know, this guy, he made a couple splashes. Maybe he's an up and coming comedian. We get to be in the film. Unbeknownst to them, it used to be in a film that became this big critical bomb, box office bomb. Then looked at as just a disaster on many fronts. Yeah, we should, yeah. Now we get to hear Pauly Shore make more weird noises. And the thing with Pauly Shore, like, if I see an interview with him today, I don't know about the guy. The guy screams douchebag. Just when you see interviews, with the way he kind of talked with people, it's as if that was never really an act. It's just how he is. But you know, huh? Like, hey, how's it going, man? How's it doing, buddy? And with the way he dresses and the stuff he wears, and I don't know, just the way he acts, just doesn't seem like someone ever want to talk to you or be likable as a person. It still seems like he got like an ego, which he shouldn't. He should have the exact opposite and have the biggest heapings of oh god, what my brain, man. This film in my fucking brain. Damn it, I can't think of the fucking word I was going to say. Shit. Brain melted from watching this fucking movie. Gosh, you just take a piece of humble pie and eat the whole damn thing, man. Take a piece of humble pie. That's what he should be doing. Ooh. It's a pretty big, crazy knife, too, he's got there. Come on, Steve Carrera should be able to get the shit out of this guy. You know, if he had a Tomb Raider at this time period, she would have been a good choice for Tomb Raider. Lara Croft. Well, wasn't that exciting? Dot untied the ropes. He, for some reason, didn't know where the ceiling was and hit the ceiling and got himself dirty. And then Pauly Shore hits him with a book. Why he didn't realize that the fucking where the ceiling is? Because he went like, I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, I don't buy Tiered Career falling for Pauly Shore's character. So I guess the joke, yeah, the joke is that there's a bid check and it's just for $5. So now he's a stripper, but he has a judge uniform. Granted, I mean, well, Tia Carrera. With the tips Tommy made dancing, he put himself through law school and became a very successful attorney. I'm sure he did. Yeah, Pauly Shore is a successful attorney. As for Peanut, he went on to fulfill his lifelong dream. Oh yeah, Jeopardy. As the winner. Rest in peace, Alice Trebek. God. Do you imagine Alice Trebek? I don't know if that was like just a... They just took a photo, they just put him in there, or if they actually had... They got Alice Trebek to take a picture there. But... Did Vitale, that was the guy from basketball who exploded out of the blue. Sean Whalen, people on the stairs, he was the accused. While Stanley Tucci was the real killer. Efren Ramirez, why does the name sound familiar? Was that Pedro? Wolfer Pedro and Napoleon Dynamite? Maybe not. Gizmo. That was the name of the dog, Peanut. Real life. Gizmo. Jesus Christ. What the movie's doing to my body? Jesus. Louise Dreyfus. Well, that was jury duty. God, that movie, man. You know, I actually thought maybe, it's probably, maybe it's not as bad as I remember. Oh, hell no. It's fucking bad. It is Pauly Shore's worst film I've seen. Well, worst film. That's tough. That last one, Guest House, was pretty bad. This, at least, I think this was shorter. And there's more recognizable people in the cast. I could go, oh, wow, I remember him. And it does have Andrew Dice Clay, so... It's not the worst film I've seen with Pauly Shore. It's got the Dice Man in it. It's got Tia Carrera in it. That's better than anything in Guest House. Although they did have Bobby Lee, but he was given nothing to do. So, it's not the worst. It's the worst in his heyday. Even worse than Biodome. So, there you go. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.